We're gonna have a bit of, I think it's gonna be a very special event. So first of all, I want to welcome you all to this session of Szarfer Literature Festival. It's our 6th edition. I think I'm very excited of that Szarfer has come this far from 6 years ago when it started. Just when I was myself was getting started in Mosaica, and that I'm very happy that it has come this far. It has gone through a pandemic. And now we have done it, switched to a hybrid model, and we are offering both physical and online sessions. And in that case, I also say hello to the people who are following us from home. A lot of people wanted to come, so I'm glad that at least they are able to see it online. Tonight's event is going to be a little bit special because it's going to be a really big mixture of languages. I think it's really going to be centered about the languages and around words, around obviously around poetry, and the way in which it's spoken in different languages. So before I introduce our speakers for tonight, I just want to get some small things out of the way. Obviously, I will ask you to put your phones on silent. Those who are watching from home, you can do whatever you want with your phones. It doesn't really affect us. Also, while you're here, I will ask that you keep your face masks on. And after we're finished, some of you have been downstairs in the patio and you have seen the little bookshop that we have, which has books from the different sessions that we were having during Szarfer. You can, once we're finished, you can go down and check it out once again. And with that said, I'm going to be out of your hair, and I'm not going to get in the way of this great session any longer. So I'm just going to introduce the 3 amazing artists. Can I call all of you artists? I feel like you're all artists. That we have for tonight, if everyone can have a look. So to begin with, Clàudia Kàlasz, I believe originally from Germany, yes. So she works as a translator. She has been engaged in literature for a very long time. She has taught at the Goethe Institute and has translated a lot of Catalan poetry and lyrical poetry to German. Maia just arrived to Barcelona. We're very happy to have her back because it seems like it was just yesterday. Her stay here got cut short because she came and was offering 3 sessions in Mosaica of poetry. We just got to the one that was going to be about your own poetry, and then the pandemic hit, and she had to fly back. Maia's originally from the United States, and we missed that. And after all this time, she has come back. She's a Fulbright student, alumnus? Scholar, exactly. She's a Fulbright scholar who is doing her work here in Barcelona and will later be going on to Greece to continue. And she is a poet, writer, and translator of Yiddish and English poetry. And Eva has been with us for the longest time. She's completely part of the family. She has been in Mosaica forever. She's we both have been here for quite some time. She is an incredibly talented musician, and she has worked in one of a great project of Mosaica, which a lot of you in the audience have just experienced, which is the Toldot food experiences. And she will be regaling us with her amazing musical talent tonight. So, with all that said, I want to give you a big welcome and big round of applause to our speakers, and welcome to the Night of Poetry in Casa Adret.
Pass me an apple small and round. Pass it from this sacred ground. And I'm thinking, much too slow, thinking how this world could go. If I had a city in the palm of my hand, I'd crush it into grains of sand. And I'm thinking, much too slow, thinking how this world could go. Pass me an apple small and round. Pass it from this sacred ground. And I'm thinking, much too slow, thinking how this world could go. A little girl silenced by the age of 13, a silence to save her misery, but it hovers like a cloud of flies hovering from her inside. Pass me an apple small and round. Pass it from this sacred ground. And I'm thinking, much too slow, thinking how this world could go. A city in flames, a city in ruin, a whole entire world forgotten. We're sifting through the grains of ash to find whatever we have left. But all they want was to hear their voice. All they want was to have a choice, and it's sinking into abyss. All these stories that we'll miss, but pass me an apple small and round. Pass me an apple small and round. Thank you very much.
D'un altre temps, i alhora de tan a prop, ens arriba la veu de Nelly Sachs, distingida amb el Premi Nobel de literatura l'any 1966 per haver interpretat el patiment del poble jueu amb una força desgarradora. Llavors, Nelly Sachs era conscient de que la línia doblegada del dolor del seu llenguatge, die Schmerz gekrümmte Laoco en Linie, com deia, distava de la línia recta del nou llenguatge poètic que sorgia en aquells anys rebels. Potser esperava que les dues línies poguessin coexistir, però no va ser així. A l'edat de 79 anys, Nelly Sachs va morir a Suècia l'any 1970. 51 anys després, el poeta i traductor Feliu Formosa rescata la seva poesia, gairebé oblidada, traslladant al català el cicle als estatges de la mort in den Wohnungen des Todes. És aquest llibre. El llibre va ser publicat fa pocs mesos per Adesiara en edició bilingüe amb anotacions, una cronologia i un epíleg il·lustrador de Heike van Lawick. Es tracta del primer poemari que Nelly Sachs va dedicar a les víctimes de la Shoah. Publicat l'any 1947, encara avui colpeix el seu títol esgarrifosament paradoxal, Els estatges de la mort. Nelly Sachs, filla d'una família jueva d'alta burgesia de Berlín, va poder sobreviure l'extermini del poble jueu a Suècia, però no va poder escapar-se del patiment i del dolor de les seves germanes i germans morts. Ella deia que la mort li havia ensenyat trobar les paraules. De fet, des de la seva capacitat de compassió neix un nou llenguatge, un llenguatge trencat pel dolor. Tant la seva poesia com la del seu amic Paul Celan varen salvar la llengua travessant les tenebres del llenguatge dels botxins i varen deixar palès que la poesia després d'Auschwitz no és cap barbaritat si incorpora la resistència a l'oblit. El cicle es composa de 4 parts. In den Wohnungen des Todes, als estatges de la mort. Primera part, el teu cos dins el fum per l'aire, dein Leib im Rauch durch die Luft. Pregàries pel nuvi mort, Gebete für den toten Bräutigam. Epitaphis escrit en l'aire, Grabschriften in die Luft geschrieben. I cors després de mitjanit, Chöre nach der Mitternacht. Us llegiré 4 poemes en la traducció catalana i en alemany. El primer poema està encapçalat amb una citació del llibre de Job, que diu: «I quan aquesta pell meva serà trossejada, miraré Déu sense la meva carn». El teu cos dins el fum per l'aire. Oh, les ximeneies, concebudes amb enginy damunt dels estatges de la mort. Quan el cos d'Israel es va alçar, dissolt en fum per l'aire, com una escura ximenea se'l va rebre una estrella, que es va tornar negra. O era un raig de sol? Oh, les ximeneies, camins de llibertat per a la pols de Jeremies i Job. Qui us va pensar i va bastir pedra sobre pedra la via per a uns pròfugs fets de fum? Oh, els estatges de la mort, dreçats per convidar-hi el patró de la casa, que solia ser l'hoste. Oh, dits, que vau col·locar el llindar de l'entrada com un ganivet entre vida i mort. Oh, xemeneies, oh, dits. El cos d'Israel dins el fum per l'aire. Und wenn diese meine Haut zerschlagen sein wird, so werde ich ohne mein Fleisch Gott schauen. Dein Leib im Rauch durch die Luft. O, die Schornsteine auf den sinnreich erdachten Wohnungen des Todes, als Israels Leib zog aufgelöst in Rauch durch die Luft, als Essenkehrer ihn ein Stern empfing, der schwarz wurde. Oder war es ein Sonnenstrahl? O, die Schornsteine, Freiheitswege für Jeremias und Hiobs Staub. Wer erdachte euch und baute Stein auf Stein den Weg für Flüchtlinge aus Rauch? O, die Wohnungen des Todes, einladend hergerichtet für den Wirt des Hauses, der sonst Gast war. O, ihr Finger, die Eingangsschwelle legend, wie ein Messer zwischen Leben und Tod. O, ihr Schornsteine, o, ihr Finger und Israels Leib im Rauch durch die Luft. El proper poema està encapçalat amb una frase de Rabbi Nachman que diu «I a pedres com ànimes». A vosaltres, que construïu la casa nova. Quan les teves parets tornis a construir, la teva llar, el llit, la taula i la cadira, no pengis les teves llàgrimes sobre els que ens han deixat, els que mai més no tornaran a viure amb tu, vora la pedra, ni vora la fusta. Altrament, hi haurà plors dins del teu son, breu, que encara et cal fer. No gemeguis quan paris el teu llençol sobre el llit, perquè si ho fas, se't mesclaran els somnis amb la suor dels morts. Ah, les parets i les eines són tan sensibles com les arpes eòliques i com un camp on creix el teu dolor. I senten en tu allò que amb la pols s'emparenta. Construeix mentre la sorra del rellotge s'escorre. Però no ploris els minuts que se'n van juntament amb la pols que oculta la llum. Es gibt Steine wie Seelen. Rabbi Nachman. An euch, die das neue Haus bauen. Wenn du dir deine Wände neu aufrichtest, deinen Herd, Schlafstatt, Tisch und Stuhl, hängen nicht deine Tränen um sie, die dahingegangen, die nicht mehr mit dir wohnen werden, an den Stein, nicht an das Holz. Es weint sonst in deinen Schlaf hinein, den kurzen, den du noch tun musst. Seufze nicht, wenn du dein Laken bettest. Es mischen sich sonst in deine Träume der Schweiß der Toten. Ach, es sind die Wände und die Geräte wie die Windharfen empfänglich und wie ein Acker darin dein Leid wächst und spüren das Staubverwandte in dir. Baue, wenn die Stundenuhr rieselt, aber weine nicht die Minuten fort mit dem Staub zusammen, der das Licht verdeckt. Dels epitafis escrits en l'aire, el marchant, G.F. Per un camí molt llarg vas haver de fer via, fins als àngels des de les agulles i els torsals. La mort va venir a veure els estris que venies, la seva dalla va cantar en la teva falç. Es van obrir tisores com per una ventada. Geia sobre els llençols un raig de lluna lívid. La sorra d'una sabata d'un infant es buidava. Tu, però, et mantenies en l'horrorós inici i amb la por que tenies com de pes augmentaves. Els teus peus avesats feia molt a la marxa, ara sabien el camí, l'altre també. Els teus ulls, que amb la vara mesuraven, escampaven miralls des d'allò oblidat fa temps. Les teves mans, que anaven aplegant els diners, talment dos que pregaven, morien amb l'Amen. Grabschriften in die Luft geschrieben. Der Hausierer, G.F. Du hattest einen weiten Weg zu gehen, von Nadeln und Zwirn bis zu den Engeln. Der Tod kam deinen Kram besehen, an einer Sichel sang sein Dengeln. Auf gingen Scheren wie im Windeswehen, der Mond lag bleichend auf den Linnen. Sand leerte sich aus einem Kinderschuh. Du aber standst im schrecklichen Beginnen und nahmst aus Angst wie an Gewichten zu. Doch deine Füße, längst gewohnt das Wandern, wussten nun den Weg, den andern. Deine Augen, die die Elle abgemessen, tauten Spiegel aus dem längst Vergessenen. Deine Hände, die die Münze nahmen, starben wie zwei Beter mit dem Amen. Pregàries pel nuvi mort. També a tu, estimat. Dues mans nascudes per oferir, t'han arrencat les sabates abans que et matessin. Dues mans destinades a ofrir-se quan en pols es desfacin. Les teves sabates eren de pell de vedell, potser ben adobades i tenyides, s'havien fet forats amb el punxó, però qui sap on habita encara un últim alè vivent. Durant la breu separació entre la teva sang i la terra, han retingut sorra a dins com un rellotge que la mort omple a cada instant. Els teus peus. Se'ls avançaven els pensaments que tan de pressa van ser prop de Déu, i així els teus peus es van cansar, es van nafrar per atrapar el teu cor. Però la pell de vedell, per la qual va passar llepant-la un dia a la llengua calenta de l'animal matern, abans que fos arrencada, va ser arrencada una vegada més dels teus peus, arrencada. O tu, el meu estimat. Gebete für den toten Bräutigam. Auch dir, du mein Geliebter, haben 2 Hände zum Darreichen geboren, die Schuhe abgerissen, bevor sie dich töteten. 2 Hände, die sich darreichen müssen, wenn sie zu Staub zerfallen. Deine Schuhe waren aus einer Kalbshaut. Wohl waren sie gegerbt, gefärbt, der Pfriem hatte sie durchstochen. Aber wer weiß, wo noch ein letzter lebendiger Hauch wohnt. Während der kurzen Trennung zwischen deinem Blut und der Erde haben sie Sand hineingespart wie eine Stundenuhr, die jeden Augenblick tot füllt. Deine Füße. Die Gedanken eilten ihnen voraus, die so schnell bei Gott waren. So wurden deine Füße müde, wurden wund, um dein Herz einzuholen. Aber die Kalbshaut, darüber einmal die warme, leckende Zunge des Muttertiers gestrichen war, ehe sie abgezogen wurde, wurde noch einmal abgezogen von deinen Füßen. Abgezogen, o du, mein Geliebter.
sleep to dream away the day, away. To be I go to sleep to be away from the day, away. I go to sleep to dream. I go to sleep to dream away the day, away.
The first poem that I'm going to read is called Dreaming of Thessaloniki. Once, it was something like New York City, lit not with skyscrapers but minarets, a city of the sea and all its continents, of Romaniotti, then Ashkenazi, then finally Sephardi. Once, the world suggested it be neither Turkish nor Greek, but a Jewish city-state, Israel before Israel. Today, Jewish gravestones pave its streets. All life is made of water, but there are ashes in this well. Today, the city celebrates its victory in Greek. Perhaps it remembers in Ladino. In my dreams, they intermingle, punctured by a faint echo of a muezzin's call. So when I was thinking of poems of my own that could follow those of Nelly Sachs, which is sort of an intimidating thing to do, I decided to start with a pair that I wrote last summer about the Ballad of Mauthausen. For those who are not aware, the Ballad of Mauthausen is a series of poems that were written by Iakovos Kambanelis and set to music by Mikis Theodorakis, who recently passed away. And they are considered, the series is considered the most powerful musical work about the Holocaust. The first of these, I suppose, is about listening to them as an American. listening to Joan Baez sing the Ballad of Mauthausen. Not all of us are flower children only, August winds scattering petals from our hair, oblivious that that wind is called the Meltemi, oblivious to economic struggle, to junta, to civil war. Yes, we want to feel the stones on the beaches, piercing our feet, to sail between islands, let our muses grow ripe in the sun. But these are the songs of the 60s too, when to write of the camps was no longer taboo. No longer taboo to admit most victims were Jews. We kept our borders closed for too long. We didn't starve, but we too have memories. We have Normandy. Our soldiers saw the girls in Bergen-Belsen. Our soldiers saw the partisans in Mauthausen. We can try our best, feel our way around these words with our tongues, try our hands at the chords of this other song of songs. Listening to the Ballad of Mauthausen in Yiddish. Greek is the speaker, the original singer. Greek, the bridegroom. Yiddish, its sister, its bride. The girls of Dachau, the girls of Belsen. Now, one can almost imagine their voices in Mauthausen. And now for something a little less heavy, but still about music and about Greece. I'm going to read some poems that are related to Leonard Cohen. Listening to Famous Blue Raincoat in Greek, sung by Dimitra Galani. One could always hear a murmur, a hint of a mule's distant climb. Never mind that the song letter takes place on the Lower East Side. The words, sung in a whisper, always rang out of the stillness of a sparser island in winter. Hours spent plucking strings on moonlit Greek evenings. To put a poem, a song, first written in English, back into the language, humming beneath it, within it, the language within all English, poetry and music, modern and ancient, language of lyre and lyric. 5 years ago, last week actually, I just so happened to be on the Greek island of Idra the week that Trump was elected president of the US, which was also the week that Leonard Cohen passed away. Idra is the island where Leonard Cohen lived for many years and where he wrote many of his songs. One way to say goodbye. He passes away while democracy falters, on its way to the USA, just before the holiday for Idra's patron saint. The same bells ring, the same processions are made, the same these priests have been making for centuries. The poets and writers and drifters of the 60s are gone. No one plays a guitar under the pine tree at Dusko's, now that the tourists, too, are gone for the winter. The electricity he lamented and running water have stayed, so the few restaurants play recordings of Bird on a Wire and Hey, That's No Way, for me and the priests. Tea and oranges, flowers and pomegranates multiply at his door. Who am I here? A poet after the poets and writers and drifters have disappeared. This is the way I have always listened to Leonard Cohen anyway, on my own processions through streets, sitting in doorways under the moon, alone in a room. Here are the rooms where he wrote songs I traveled through when I was sick for a decade. Over the wall is the terrace from the photograph I studied. Leonard Cohen playing guitar in the 80s, after the other poets and writers, the drifters, had disappeared. Leonard Cohen singing to the rooftops, to the mountain. And here's one more about music. Kol Nidre. May it be played by Casals, my beloved Yom Kippur Goy on the cello. Perhaps he too has vows to renounce, an ancestor forced to convert rather than burn, forebears who wish to return. He's summoning them now with his strings, with his bow, grieving them now. So now I thought I would read a poem that Mosaica published after my last day in Spain. Portbo. To leisurely travel here to Portbo, where others have fled through. To exist as a tourist in a world full of others running for refuge. And to stroll down the narrow streets of nearby towns, drinking chocolate, and notice the hollows where mezuzahs were torn away from stone. A few decades ago, in another century, the refugee would have been me. In another few years, perhaps, it will be. Here I am, admiring the sea. To be a tourist can be a beautiful thing, strange in a world of tourists and refugees. So I think that Mosaica had been hoping that I would read something in Yiddish, because I noticed that the pamphlet said that. So I'm going to read a poem that I originally basically wrote in both languages. It's called Hidden Yiddish, and I actually wrote this in Spain, even though it's about Yiddish. Hidden Yiddish. Perhaps there is memory growing out of oblivion, a miracle happening on a journey. As the nightingale sings an aching soliloquy, buried in a forest in Poland. And the Yiddish goes, Behaltene Yiddish. Efter der Mondung wächst der Reus von dem Mond. Efter ein Nest geschät auf eine Sia. Beschass der Solowey singt sich ein Monolog von Wehen. Beerdigt in a Wald in Lita. So while that last poem was essentially about Yiddish, it was sort of inspired by seeing the remnants of Sephardic history in Spain, which reminded me of the summers that I spent studying Yiddish in Eastern Europe. So I'm going to read a poem about those summers. It's called Vilna. There was that same strange scent. Both times I went. Almost unpleasant, kept me recalling that blood once ran through the cobblestone streets, yet it was tender like grass in the rain. Each time I arrived amid plenty of rain, though I'm certain the days lasted longer. The first time, the first summer, just as that month seemed longer than when I went anywhere, again for a month, bled into the months and the years I walked down after, those white evenings in summer. And so, since the theme of this reading was, in addition to death, life and el viaje, before I came back to Spain, I had been living in Los Angeles. And even though I worked very hard for the opportunity to come back here, I was also sad to leave California. So I'm going to read a poem about Los Angeles. With its smells of ocean spray and homelessness, evening walks scented with jasmine and exhaust, I could almost believe my future lay in turning west, away from looking back to the east of all my past, these United States still closing in, waste and wealth, dropping suddenly into the shore of the west of the west. Facing the ocean where day rises and where it sets, my life already lived seemed not so long yet. I could still leap into the west, west, west. Thank you.
Well, it really is an honor to be here with both Clàudia and Maia. Thank you all for coming, and wow, what an honor. I'm going to just play a few songs to close our session. The previous songs I played were, the first one I actually wrote almost 10 years ago, when a reflection after visiting my grandmother's village in near Lvov in what was Poland, now Ukraine. And I will play a few original songs now. And this time it's always there, but you're always standing still. Would you stand there just to stand your ground? But this ground that you've been walking on, it's made of quicksand. Would you tell me, tell 1,000 words just to leave them all behind, never to be heard? Would you? Cross a million oceans just to see her face? 'Cause you woke up in the morning, found all your mistakes. Would you stand there and watch the tide grow high? But this moon that you've been watching never reached the sky. Would you tell me, tell 1,000 words just to leave them all behind, never to be heard? Would you? Yeah, would you? Yeah, would you? tell me. Tell 1,000 words just to leave them on this island. Never to be heard, would you?
Thank you. So actually, I'll tell you a little secret, the story behind that song. My sister lives on an island. And the song's called Island. But I chose it, I knew that we had a Greek Mediterranean theme playing around here. Also choosing the songs today was a nice process, thinking about the title, Life, Death and Journeys. This song actually isn't mine. It's from a very rare blues artist called Gishi Wiley, who only recorded a few songs, and the records are very rare. She's a bit of a mystery because she was a female blues guitarist and singer, and her partner also was a female, and she fell off the face of blues history for a long time. And so this is her song called Last Kind Words.
Were the last kind words I heard my father say. The last kind words I heard my father say. If I die in the German war, please send my body to my mother, send it, Lord. If I get killed, please don't bury my soul. I'd rather leave it out, let the buzzards eat it whole. And if you see me coming across the rich man's field, if I don't bring flour, I'll bring you a bolted meal. And the last kind words I heard my mother say, girl, girl, why must you be so wild and free? The Mississippi River, it's so deep and wide, I could stand here, not see you on the other side. And then what you do to me, babe, never gets out of me. I may not see you again when I cross the Atlantic Sea. Where the last kind words I heard my father say, the last kind words I heard my father say.
Gracias, thank you. Gishiwaile. This song is about returning. Please return through my window, through my window, through this. All the way through this emptiness. And I went missing for a while. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? But I returned through my window to this world. Colored dreams, thou come drifting in. Colored leaves, thou come floating in. And I went missing for a while. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? But I returned through my window to this world. Colored dreams, thou come drifting in. Colored leaves, thou come floating in. And I went missing for a while. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? But I returned through my window to this. I returned through my window to this world. I didn't prepare more songs, no. Would you like one more song? What is the time? Okay.
It's not a simple song, it's not an easy one, and I was thinking of you. It's not an easy game, this game I like to play, and I was thinking of you. And I guess we students go step into it. I think it's turning oh so fluid. I think about it all the time. I think about it all the time. I think it's falling 1, 2, 3, the kind that brings me to my feet. It's not a simple song, it's not an easy one, and I was thinking of you. It's not an easy game, this game I like to play, and I was thinking of you, thinking of you. Simple song, it's not an easy one, and I was thinking of you. It's not an easy game, this game I like to play, and I was thinking of you. It's not a simple song, it's not an easy one, and I was thinking of you. It's not an easy game, this game I like to play, and I was thinking of you, thinking of you. Thinking of you. Thinking of you.
Thank you very much.
I want to say thank you very much to everyone for coming. As I mentioned before, you can go down and check out some of the books that we have. I don't know if you want to answer some questions.
Sure, if this...
Si alguien tiene preguntas, if anyone has questions, we have them here for a few more minutes, so this is your chance. And if not, yes, thank you so much for coming, and I hope to see you in the next several events. Sí, y si no hay más preguntas, muchas gracias por venir, y espero veros en los propers esdeveniments.
Moltes gràcies.
Gràcies.
Thank you.